Hello, hello. So just let's start from where we have stopped in the last stream. The uh, let's start with applicant controller. So const mm, let's import the schema. Applicants schema require mm, validations applicant validation const applicant profile calculation controllers async request the response. Hmm. So there would be uh so let's try checking the route, sorry, routes, applicant routes, const require express. So the flow of these routes would be checking if uh, the user is signed in, then use the applicant profile variation controller Then use the applicant profile middleware. This would be the whole flow um, for this post route. There it is. For this post route, this would be the whole flow that I have shown now. User middleware, checking if the user is signed in and confirming if the user is a valid user, then creation of the applicant, then passing on to the applicant profile middleware and checking if the applicant is signed in. So this applicant profile middleware returns a applicant ID that is required further to use for these routes. So applicant routes to check all the jobs that have been had for the applicant. I think we should be starting with the recruiter. I'll change the thumbnail later, but let's start with the recruiter. Since there are no jobs, we cannot show anything for the applicant. Or let's build the post and get routes for the applicant, and then the recruiter and then the post and get routes for the recruiter. That would be great. So the control flow for profile creation and getting the profile would be completed. So then we can create the further routes, job creation routes and job viewing routes. Job can be viewed and applied by applicant. Job creation can be done by the recruiter. That would be the flow for now. So let's complete applicant and recruiter profile creation routes. Ah, let's check the middleware. So there is a middleware already available for the user auth middleware.js file. Uh, this can only be created. The applicant profile middleware and recruiter profile middleware can be created only after um, the profile creation is done for the applicant or the recruiter. So let's start writing the code here. Let's open the schema and check for the recruiter. Let's start with the recruiter ID. So the user ID can be bought from the middleware, just like we have said. Uh, user controller, sorry, recruiter controller, recruiter profile controller. Let's name it that way for both. So let's start. Let's write the try block const name of the company, oh, company website. So mm, 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 okay, const name of company. Let's open. Where is the schema that we have written? Router relation name of company. Okay. request dot body dot name of company const wait switch it. Company URL, size of company URL, request dot body dot company URL, company const company size, company size of the company. Models, recruiter model, size of company, request dot body dot size of company, company description, const company description, request dot body dot company description. Recruiter model again, industry and location, industry location, request dot body dot industry location, const recruiter model. Industry and location are two different things. My bad. Industry location. Request dot body dot location. So that would be it. Const data company URL, size of company, company description, industry location. Rate const validated credentials, recruiter schema dot safe parse. Validations, recruiter validation, recruiter schema. Let's remove this. Yeah, and parse the data. Const, sorry, if validated credentials dot success. If it's false, um, then return rest dot status of let's check the status code that we have written. Yeah, 400. 400.json of message validation failed along with error message error validated credentials dot error message. That's great. The input validation is done. Let's move on to let's just create the profile. Or is there any? I hope it's great. So let's create the profile. We check the input validation. We don't need to check if the recruiter is already available in the database, since we are forcing the recruiter to create a profile. Only then he could be moving to further steps. So whenever a user logins as a recruiter, he should first create the profile. Only then he could use the other actions. So we don't need to check if he exists in the database or not. Let's continue with just creating the recruiter in the database. Let's store this details of the recruiter. Wait, we have missed one main thing. The name of the recruiter, maybe it's important, I guess. The user ID too. Um, let's write recruiter. Uh, is it important or not? Okay, for now, let's even write the name of the recruiter. Name z dot string. Uh, Great. Let's leave it. Let's go to the recruiter model. User ID, name, type. Let's put a comma. Type required boom 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 done. Let's check uh user ID. I would say z dot Zord validation for Zord validation for IDs. In Zord. Let's not write a validation for user ID. Data nice. Const. Let's check the user controller. User middleware. Nice. Request dot user ID. Request dot roles. Hmm. Request dot username, decoded username. Superb. Controllers. Let's check username. Yeah, we write it as mm, so let's just create the user now. Wait, uh, we need the recruiter model. Let's import it. Let's open the recruiter model first. Yeah, we need this. So recruiter controller const recruiter require models slash recruiter model recruiter dot create of. So let's write a new object with user ID, comma, data. Nice. So return rest dot status of 201 dot JSON message as a recruiter profile created successfully. Catch of e rest dot status 500 dot JSON message, sorry, error e dot message. Let's write a message to. We don't need a message. Let's leave it that way. Uh, let's export this. Uh, module.exports recruiter profile controller. Superb. So whenever the profile is created, the JSON token should be returned. So for further requests, the JSON token would be used to send the request rather than checking if the recruiter profile is created or not every time. And we need to do one thing after creating this. Uh, then let's import the user and check if. Hmm, so first, let's import the user and mark his profile created as true to make you much understandable. Let's open this, connect, higher flow, users. So here is profile created is marked as false. Let's make it true whenever the profile is being created. Before that, we need to add one more thing, const name request dot body dot name. Okay, let's write it here, name. Superb. Hmm, wait, let's import user to here, const require models slash user mode control Z user model. Okay, user model. Superb. Find by ID and update. Um, let's mark the is profile created as true. We need to use the set. Okay, let's put the user ID here. So that would be slash ID, user ID, comma, set is profile created as true. They don't need to put it this way. Let's remove this. Why is this code unreachable? Great. We just need to remove the return. Hmm. We don't need to send anything as a response. We have marked this as profile creation successful. Updated the user model by finding the ID. Or wait, slash ID. That would be much. Hmm. And we need to return the token. So let's create a JSON token const JWT key. We need to import the process.env. Let's import here on the top const env require env.config require .env. Import the module config path. So the path would be this. Superb. Let's come here. Process dot env dot jwt key const token. That would be, we need to import JSON web token to const jwt require JSON web token. Let's write it on the top. Paste. JSON jwt dot sign off. We need to so usually we need to sign the recruiter ID. Come on. So let's remove this. Mm, and the JWT key, and send the token here. Simple. So the flow of this code would be like um, validate the credentials. If the credentials validation failed, return a validation error message. Then create the recruiter, store it in a variable recruiter, and use the recruiter ID here. Sign it with the JWT key. Send the response of the token that's created along with a message saying recruiter profile created successfully. Error message. Let's check the flow for this. If the connection is successful, I'll try to create dummy data in ChatGPT and use that. So this is the recruiter controller. So there are no errors for now. Let's stop this and create the dummy data. ChatGPT. Yes, let's open this. Let's recruiter schema. Let's cut this. Let's open Postman. Airflow. Sorry, let's delete this. Add folder, rename recruiter. Open this. This is a post request. Let's copy the URL from here. Copy, paste it. User. Let's check the route that we have designed. Recruiter profile. API user recruiter profile. Recruiter. Post for creation. We have to write the routes. Let's push the code. Add commit. Const router require express const router. We need the user middleware first. Const user middleware. Let's remove this. Require middlewares. User auth middleware. Const. Recruiter profile controller. We need to import this. Controller slash router controller. Uh, router dot post as profile with user middleware along with recruiter profile controller sorry, module dot exports router, the server.js file, const uh, recruiter router route slash app dot use user recruiter. So whenever the router tries to route, it first tries to match the slash user slash recruiter um, text match. Only then that would be passed. Only then the control would be passed to the recruiter router. So first it tries to match this. If it's successful, then it goes to the recruiter router and matches to the existing routes here. Let's try running the code. It's successful. Let's open this. First, let's copy our dummy data. Open this body, raw, JSON, paste. Hmm, this is the recruiter profile. Let's copy the ID. Recruiter. Let's copy this ID. Copy. Open this. Sorry, this postman. Paste. Try sending it. Authorization header missing. Fine. That's a valid error. Let's open the headers. Authorization. Or let's try signing it. Let's open the. Let's save this all. Let's open the user. Sign in. Let's sign in the second user. Yeah, user 2, 2, 3, 4. Password. Send. Returns some token. Let's copy this. Let's close these routes. Open this postman. Right here. Bearer. Paste it. Now try sending the data again. Validation failed. Size of company 100 to 50. Okay. What have we written? 100 to 50. Body. Size of company. I think somewhere the names are written different. Let's open the validation. Size of company. That's great. Let's stop this. Run again. 100 to 50 is mentioned here. Great. Let's try sending it again. Recruiter created successfully. The whole control flow work great. Now this false should be marked as true since the profile of the recruiter is created. Let's try checking that. See it showing true. So let's you know reload this database, refresh this recruiters. There is a new recruiter created. Yeah, Rahul Sharma, user ID, everything is stored very good or very great to say, not good. It has stored the recruiter data great. Let's save this response as successful response. Hmm, creation successful, right? Rename. Hmm, successful recruiter profile creation. Hmm, very great. Um, rename this recruiter profile recruiter profile creation. Mm, close this. Close this. Post. So let's write a get route for the same recruiter. So whenever the recruiter tries to hit the same route with the get, then he should get his profile. Recruiter profile. Hello 21 night. Hello 21 night. Hello. Let's push the code. What am I doing? I'm building this recruiter routes. So I have just created this profile creation route. This is I have created this. So the flow of this I have built is the admins are separate, the users are separate. I will show you here. Admin and user are separate. Just a second. Admin and user are separate. The user have two types of users, applicants and recruiters. Recruiters can create jobs, can post jobs, can view jobs. Applicant can create their applications, um, which I'm using Node.js. May have even I am new to this GenAI stack. I am building the backend for this higher flow. No, I am doing the traditional programming. I am not web coding. Um, all this code is written by me. There is nothing like vibe coding and all. I'm trying to code it manually. Um, thanks, Mr. Mayhew. Thanks for the chat message. 21 night, even I don't have a job. I guess learn C++, try to go deep dive into DSA. That would help you. Start with DSA, spend six months or 1 year if you're in college. Try spending 6 months to 1 year with DSA. Uh, Learn all the advanced concepts, basic data structures, and all. That would help you a lot. Then start web dev. Choose any stack of your choice. The front end wouldn't change that much since everyone would be starting with React. Then moving with the next JS. Everyone usually start with the React.js, so it's pretty normal. But you have started in C++. You can use any language, I think. You can use Node.js or Python. Since you'll be learning C++, it would be easy for you to switch to Python to build the backend. You can even build backend in Java. I'm not sure you can write backend code in C++, but there is Spring Boot to write Java code in the backend. For if you are learning JavaScript, you can use Node.js. For Python, you can use Django or Fast API. That would be it. Try learning DSA. Uh, Spend a lot of time with DSA. That would be better. Then you can learn. There are a lot of concepts you can explore if you are in college. If you are out of college, uh, try hustling with try starting with the web dev directly. That would be better. If you're in college, C++, DSA, basic DSA, advanced DSA, sorting, searching, all those concepts in DSA would be great for you. 21 night. Can I create a game? Um, I hope you could create games in C++, but Node.js is mainly used to build real apps rather than games. I think you can create some sort of games. Have completed BCom 4 years ago. Oh, 4 years. No worries. Try starting with. I would recommend starting web dev as soon as possible. Uh, Try doing both on the same day. Try learning C++ and web dev in the same day. Balance both. Try doing both at the same time since you don't have much time. You are out of college. BCom 4 years ago. Understandable. You might have your reasons, but try starting early. Don't waste your time. That would be my suggestion. That's all. Try learning C++ and web dev in the same day. That would help you a lot and save a lot of time. C++, learn C++. Take 2 months in learning C++. Try learning basic web dev in the first 2 months. When you move to the DSA part, try doing web dev too. Try solving some lead code problems. That would help you. There are some basic concepts in DSA, math related concepts and all. You can learn those and start with the DSA. After learning the basics and your foundation is great with C++, you can move on with DSA. There are a lot of topics. You can start with C++, basic web dev in the starting 2 months, then move with DSA and advanced JavaScript stack, the React.js, Node.js, any database. Oh, if it's for your passion, then um, I guess you have a lot of time. There are many, you know, languages that you can create games. Even in Python, you can create games. If it's your passion, then just enjoy coding rather than moving fast. You don't need to do DSA then. Just learn C++. I think there are a lot of, you know, YouTube channels that make you learn C++ and building games in C++, I would say. Thanks, 21 Night. Thanks for the chat. Thank you. Thank you, 21 Night. Thank you. Thanks for the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I did learn C++ like a lot of years ago, but I haven't been to it recently. Recently, I'm completely working in JavaScript and Python. Python as a programming language and JavaScript for building stuff. I know a very little C++. I don't even remember the syntax correctly. C in, C outs. I remember only those. Yeah. How can I solve that? So try writing down the problem on the paper, like what's the input and what's the expected output, and try doing the dry runs rather than trying to code it. First, write down the code on the paper. You would understand half of your code there. Then start writing down in the compiler. That would save, that would make you understand what's the expected input and outputs. Try asking ChatGPT, not directly the solution, but try asking ChatGPT on how can I start this? What's the input? What's the expected output? How can I reach that expected output? ChatGPT helps a lot in learning new stuff, even solving problems. Ask ChatGPT to give some hints to solve your problems, so you can solve the question in much easier way. Try using AI to gain some knowledge. Usually, ChatGPT gives you the direct solution, but I would say asking ChatGPT to give some hints. How can you solve that? Um, where to start and where to end, like the expected output. That would solve you. That would save you a lot of time. I would say. Don't waste like days to solve a problem. I would say because everything is moving very bit fast. There is Gen AI doing a lot of stuff. So to move fast, try learning it in ChatGPT. Ask doubts to ChatGPT. It would try to resolve those and make you understand in a much better way, I would say. So take the help of AI for hints in the chat. If you go advanced, it would do much better wonders, I would say. Thank you. Mm, 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 mm. Um, for that, there are some apps. Not sure. I have seen some in Instagram. Those would display right up on your screen whenever there is a question that would detect the question and give you the answer straight up there. I don't remember the apps exactly, but try checking them on YouTube. Even I don't have the knowledge related to that. Um, Browse yourself, check for those. Even I don't have that info with me. But there are surely some apps that are built, some Chrome extensions that would directly detect the question and solve it straight up there. You can use that in your exams, I would say. Uh, Thanks, 21 Night. Bye. Okay, the stream would be ending in like 10 minutes. That's it for today. Have a great day. Tomorrow I would be continuing with coding more of this recruiter controller. I should be changing the thumbnail. I will do that certainly after the stream. So for today, that's it. Have a great day. The stream would be ending in 10 minutes. Thank you.